According to the Ministry of Economic Development, in July, the gross domestic product increased by 0.4% year-on-year. And over the first 7 months of this year, GDP growth amounted to 1.1%. The question is this enough? Is this what we wanted? Are we managing to solve the task we set for ourselves? Or do we need some other measures and a higher growth rate? Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues. The government continues to work on the draft federal budget for the next 3 years. In this regard, we are holding a whole series of meetings on the framework of the country's main financial document and its key priorities. Just yesterday, or was it the day before, with Mikhail Vladimirovich, right? Or was it the day before yesterday at night? We discussed all these issues for a long time, probably about 2 hours. Among these issues are the fulfillment of social obligations, funding of national projects, and ensuring Russia's security. I want to emphasize that the budget is intended to address both current and long-term strategic development tasks for the entire country. Therefore, the preparation of the budget, as well as its subsequent implementation, is a shared responsibility. It is a team effort that brings together the resources of the federal government, ministries, agencies, and management teams in the regions and municipalities. It is obvious that the stability of public finances and the implementation of planned projects and programs directly depend on the state of Russia's economy. And here we have set the main goal, namely to ensure the necessary growth rates for this. We must not simply keep pace with the global economy, but strive to outpace its dynamics by unlocking the potential of our own industries, regions, and territories, by developing ties with foreign partners, by widely implementing advanced technologies, and by mastering new promising areas of the modern economy. To achieve this goal, it is necessary to closely coordinate fiscal and tax policy measures, and monetary policy, focusing them primarily on supporting and stimulating growth. As you know, I already spoke about this in June at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. But even last year, we discussed together everything that was happening in our economy and talked about the need to take action. The necessary measures to combat inflation and strengthen macroeconomic stability, we agreed that this would inevitably lead to a cooling of the economy, to what we called at the time a soft landing. And it was also, in fact, the general consensus among all those involved that we needed to very carefully walk this extremely fine and delicate line so as not to in any way undermine or negatively impact macroeconomic policy and not to overcool it, not to freeze it. We discussed these issues with Russian businesses as well, with various business associations. What do we see now? According to the Ministry of Economic Development, in July, the gross domestic product increased by 0.4% year-on-year. And over the first 7 months of this year, GDP growth amounted to 1.1%. The question is this enough? Is this what we wanted? Are we managing to solve the task we set for ourselves? Or do we need some other measures and a higher growth rate? Naturally, all this while ensuring macroeconomic and inflationary stability, taking into account the balanced policy of the central bank. As for inflation, the trend here is quite clear. If in July the growth of consumer prices was 8.8%, then in August it was 8.1%. And now the trajectory of declining inflation is below the forecasts of the government and the Bank of Russia. In other words, the efforts to reduce inflation are yielding results. It is very important that a moderate price environment has a positive effect on business and investment activity. It should allow us to ensure a more dynamic and sustainable growth. And of course, special attention should be given to improving the quality of the domestic economy, combating the shadow sector and tax evasion, which not only supports a fair, healthy, and competitive environment, creates transparent conditions for the development of business and entrepreneurship, but also allows for additional revenues to the federal budget. We will also discuss our approaches to this issue today. Let's get to work. Please, the floor is yours. Anton Germanovich Silvanov. Go ahead.